Cowabunga Ranger Talk. Welcome. Today we are going to be covering Playmates The Last Ronin Toyline. It's a collection, a brand, an offshoot, if you will, of the comic book The Last Ronin. And this, if you want to call it, well, let's call it a toy line. It's had a pretty odd, trajectory. So I wanted to talk about it and kind of, you know, give a lay of the land because since Playmates is losing the Turtles license, we might as well have an episode devoted to the Last Ronin. Last Ronin has a lot of fans, so here we go. For those of you that collect or don't and just want a little bit of back knowledge on this stuff. So the last Ronin, the first figure, it's the one in the red box. You can see there, it was a 40th anniversary. It was a PX exclusive and all that. And it came in its proper black colors with the red box, with the weapons colored in. The blue for Leo, basically everything is colored in. Now, then they did a chase, which was a white version with black lines, which came out pretty close after it. And then there was nothing for about 2 years. There was really nothing that came out for it. And then all of a sudden there was announced that they were going to do more. So there was a re-release of The Last Ronin, but in a different box style. Close enough, like really close. Really the big difference here is the top corner where you see the face is changed as compared to 40th anniversary. The back is turned of The Last Ronin. And they did The Last Ronin and Wrath, basically, right? And you figure, okay, so if you're collecting this line, people have loved these figures, by the way. I haven't had a chance to, personally get one, but I did want to do this sort of retrospective on it. Now, I have seen it, and I don't know if it's worth $30, but a lot of people that have reviewed it are like, yeah, this figure's worth $30. Sure, I mean it's a small figure with a few accessories that doesn't seem, even as a longtime turtle collector, like it doesn't seem to make sense to me personally, but to each his own. And now even more because since the line is ending, maybe these are going to become harder to find. Maybe it was a giant failure. But from everyone that, I've heard from that have actually had the figure or people that have reviewed online or this or that, people love this. If I see them at a decent price, I might go in on them, honestly, but not at no $30. I mean, for everything you get out of the remastered 6-pack, the other figures that you get have pretty close to the same articulation. The poster turtles that they did about a year ago, those with like the long necks and the little heads. Even the Godzilla turtles are $15. And they're much bigger than this, and they have just as much articulation, really. If you look at them, they should be more expensive. The Godzilla turtles should be about $20. They shouldn't be $14.99, but that's price and here and there. But like I said, that's basically where we are there. And then we have a gigantic glaring issue, which is Donnie and Leo were never made for this line. Now I'm just using these images of the pop versions of Leo and Don so you can get an idea of what the aesthetic is for it. This is just, like I said, these are unproduced figures. There's no images for them. This is just a stand-in image, if you will. Funko was able to do a lot of these figures and turn a lot of them out. There's a lot of versions of these. So there's the versions that are like this. There's another one with Leonardo with both his arms out. There's also a Raph. There's like 4 different Last Ronins, quote unquote. One is with a wall, the other one is sitting down, the other one, I think it's like meditating. There's a 4-pack with the Ghost Brothers. Funko did a lot with the last Ronin, but like Playmates, you figure Playmates would have at the very least, released, as far as popular as this is, you figure they would have at least knocked out the freaking the four turtles, or five if you want to be technical, because the four turtles, and then if the last Ronin, wink wink, is supposed to be a mystery, okay, let it be a mystery. But okay, give me Mikey in his last Ronin ish clothes or whatever in that outfit. But no, it just wasn't done. And now that they're losing the license, I really, really don't think they're gonna release the other two. And there is no word of the other two characters coming. And this video is being done in April 2nd. Actually, it's April 2nd, 2026. So if you're seeing this, and at San Diego they released these two guys in a 2-pack to kind of shut people up, hey, more power to them, and like I said, eventually, long game, I might get them, but at a decent price, not at the prices they're at right now. No, but basically, this is as close as you're gonna get to making a four-man team. All right, so you'd have to get the pop versions to at least stand them next to Raph and Last Ronin, aka Mikey, and book's been out for like 4 or 5 years now. It's enough time. They're doing like Last Ronin 3 now, like the college years, like Saved by the Bell or something. But still, this is a mock-up, obviously, but this is about as close as it's gonna get to making a Last Ronin team, which pretty much sucks. And I'll talk about other products and other things that are being pushed to the wayside because of this G.I. Joe Ninja Turtles toy line that is. Oh, buddy. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it at the same time, because it's like, if it's your last year as the creator, I mean the toy maker for Ninja Turtles, you should go out with a bigger bang than this. But yeah, this is pretty much it. This is as close as you're gonna get. You could probably find some people that are 3D printing heads that are smaller, so you can maybe like fudge up a little bit. Like you can kit bash some smaller heads to the pop bodies, so it kind of looks like them. I mean, pops are not horribly different in size than the Ninja Turtles. These figures, at least, anyway. So you can kind of you could try to fidge with it, or if you're a customizer, you could just buy like, let me get 4 rafts, put new heads, and paint and sculpt out whatever the bandages and pants and the little hat for Donnie, and turn one of the rafts into Donnie and one of the rafts into Leo. But yeah, I don't know if enough people care about this line to do that. But I did want to say that. Also, I forgot to mention, the re-release of The Last Ronin comes in a sort of a navy-ish color, and it doesn't have as much black wash to it, which is the image you see here. See? So it is a different shade of the character, even if it is the exact same sculpt with less paint. And thanks for watching another episode of Cowabunga Ranger Talk. Until next time, bye.